Oh shit! What the hell's up, everyone? I am back once again with another entry of Hugeman Mini-Plays, Resident Evil 4 The Mercenaries. Now, for this entry, I'll be playing as everyone's favorite Spanish umbrella laboratory worker. I lost my track there, but you know what I'm talking about. Luis Sera, everyone's favorite. Is it kind of stereotypical to call him a conquistador, even though I'm not sure if he's ever been outside of Spain, but so, like I told you in the last video, this is a new project of mine that I'm just that's very small. Like anytime I do like small playthroughs, I'm just gonna refer to it as Hugeman Mini-Plays, because you go on YouTube and you look up gameplay videos of certain games or just like any game in general, and you'll find like loads of videos. You'll find just standard game title, standard map section, etc., etc. Nobody ever has like I guess like a catchy title for their series or anything. Some people do, but those are often harder to come by. But this is not really much of a playthrough, because I don't really do playthroughs except for like anniversary plays or just something that I think would fit a Let's Play series. But yeah, it's just just me showing off what I'm capable of in Mercenaries. I have played through some of Mercenaries, if you've noticed, with the scoreboards on each character. I didn't do the second and third maps with Hunk when I had decided that I wanted to, when I ultimately decided that I wanted to do Mercenaries playthroughs, because right after I played like the third map as Krauser, no, the first map is Hunk, I consulted my peers and I said, hey, you guys want to see some Mercenaries playthrough videos? Of course I'm going to do commentary. Don't know if Josh is going to join me for this, but let me know what you guys think, and everyone was pretty much on board. And as of right now, I'm doing this commentary on April 14th. I made the announcement on my socials, and it seemed to go over pretty well with a lot of the people that I showcase some of my projects to, if not all my projects. So, I'm confident this is gonna go well with them and maybe other people as well, which is great, because I do like doing shit myself. I do like supporting myself and whatnot, but it is kind of reassuring to have like peer reviews, to have like peer feedback on what it is that I do. Like a lot of the times I consult one of my pals from the stand posting admin team about hey, what do you think of my thumbnails? What do you think of these titles? Like he was the one I consulted about pretty much all of my Let's Plays ever since I did the original Doom games. Like I consulted him about that. He gave me some tips, and then I applied those tips to when I started the Let's Rock Baby series, the Let's Rock Baby trilogy. I consulted him on those, and he pretty much said, yeah, this is a huge improvement. This is a real big step up from what you've done in the past. And that was very validating, very reassuring. Like I genuinely felt like I was coming a long way, because I was very basic. I would like not get any like feedback or feedback reviews, not really assistance, but like helpful tips on how to like come across as like an actual content creator, rather than just another stereotypical YouTuber, which I've been like doing for like the majority of my time here on YouTube. That goes a long way back, but only the real OGs know what I used to do. If you don't, well, that's on you, because my memory kind of sucks. At least that's what I'm going to tell you. But yeah, I try to play around with my thumbnails, my titles as cleverly as I can, because having the same cover on every gaming video, it's not really going to help, because it just comes off as like being the same thing, which was my pretty big mistake that I made when I did the Doom Let's Plays. because I enjoyed the Doom Let's Plays, but the thing is that looking back, they kind of drag on a little bit. But you know, Josh, another former friend of mine, not talking about Josh, but a different person. They were pretty open, pretty accepting to the Doom Let's Plays I did, which I mean, it's nice, but for me, I just feel like I could have done better. But I mean, I'm not a professional by any means, so yeah, I mean, whenever I befriend people, whether it's from doing YouTube, whether it's from just shit posting on social media, mostly Facebook and Twitter, because I mean Instagram is I come across more bots on Instagram than I do in the other two. So this is nice. It's nice to have feedback, reviews by your peers, or just tips on like how to look better, because as I get older, it's when I realize that maybe I do need to consider what my peers are telling me when it comes to like hey, how to get this across better, or how to present it in a more professional fashion. I guess that's one way of putting it, because I mean nobody's really professional, but just at least in some form presentable. I really enjoy making just YouTube content in general. Like, I mean, I make YouTube content. I shit post pretty regularly. Not as much as I used to these days, because I don't have the drive like I used to. Like, all these fucking groups I'm in, like, I used to pretty much carry them. But now I'm just like, if I come up with a meme, I'm lucky. Or I'm lucky if I come up with a meme. Vice versa. Or maybe it's for the other people. But, coming up with, like, these projects right here, I've always got ideas. It just comes a little less often than it used to. But, now we're on the topic of YouTube. Like, I do feel like over the last couple years that I haven't really taken time to myself, which it is a little contradictory, because there are moments like, last year, the Devil May Cry Let's Play trilogy. Of course, I would take like a month or two between projects, to, kind of relax a little bit. I did do that, but like as far as like full on sabbatical for just YouTube in general, I have been considering it lately, because it's actually not because I'm running out of ideas, but it's rather because I could really use a break. Like, outside of YouTube, outside of shit posting, I work for a living, and I think I speak for a lot of people in that situation. Like, yeah, I work for a living. I'm tired most of the time. Like, my only 2 days off, I'm just napping. So I do consider a sabbatical, like just like a year's worth of sabbatical. But then, like, the idea just fucking drives me crazy, because I love being creative. I love creating and so forth, and just like the idea of like taking an entire year to myself, where I don't do anything, where I don't draw, where I don't do any let's play videos, where I don't do any end of the year vlogs. Like, it's kind of haunting. But I mean, everyone deserves a break. Everyone deserves a break from work. Everyone deserves a break from school, because I have some peers that are in school, or that have been to school, or that were in school and just decided it's not for them, and that's totally fine. But in the general sense, everyone deserves a break, and I do consider it somewhat often, not all the time. But I love being creative, and as far as I know right now, I don't have any plans to take a sabbatical. But if I don't have anything creative to go on with, like last year, I didn't do Minimalific Sketch season 4. I did season 3, and it kind of left off on a cliffhanger, because at the time like I thought to myself, I don't have any more ideas. I am clean the fuck out of ideas. Like that teaser I left at the on the Jin Kazama sketch. I could have done better, but it is what it is. It was intentional. I was intentionally trying to like get across that I don't know if I'll be back next year, because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be back next year, is what I really meant to imply when I did that. But you know, that same year I did the big sketch. I love the big sketch. Like, I love busting out my 18 by 24 centimeter sketch pad, and it wasn't as big as the first one, because my Jotaro Kujo sketch was pretty big. Like, my friends were crazy about it. My Totoro sketch, I mean, yeah, somewhat the same level of reception, but in comparison, it was kind of a dip as far as like favoritism and whatnot. And it kind of surprised me, because I was like, I thought everyone loved Totoro. I thought everyone loved Studio Ghibli, but I guess not. Or maybe it was just a bad time for me. It kind of was, in my personal life and creatively, because, you know, I did Metamorphosis Sketch Season 3. Some people were raving about it. Some people were like, maybe you've passed your peak. Nobody's told me that directly, but that's what I think. That's what goes in my mind when I go and when I just do like comparisons between seasons. But yeah, when I ended season 3 of Minimal Effort Sketch, that ending where I said, "Well, I'll be back. We'll see," was kind of my way of saying maybe it's time for a break. As far as Minimal Effort Sketch went at the time, yeah, it was definitely time for a break, because I was running out of ideas. I was at a bit of a standstill with like everything, because I was still replaying old video games. I was I was still doing creative endeavors without any reviews, like without any tips, without any feedback from my peers. And that's when I decided, and like the whole time afterwards, like between the end of season 3 and right now as I'm doing this commentary, is when I started thinking maybe I should take up like consulting my peers about, hey, how do I make this look presentable? How do I make this look professional in a sense? And that's what really helped me. Like, I did not expect the premiere of Let's Rock Baby to blow up as it did, like 400 fucking views. I have not seen that since my Mortal Kombat X Let's Plays. Not to put my own fucking balls on the scale, but my Mortal Kombat X Let's Plays were huge, especially the Sub-Zero video that I did. Like, I was fucking goated at Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat X, and people were fucking raging over how good I came off as Sub-Zero. But that was before I discovered how to chain combos better, but people were still like going nuts about it. So, yeah. The end of season 3 of Minimal Effort Sketch was basically me saying, hey, it's time for a break. It's not the end, but it kind of feels like it. It did feel like the end, because, you know, I don't want to quit drawing. You know, I want to use every page of my handheld sketchbook that I still have from my drawing class in university. I want to make use of that in the long term. And, you know, going on that sabbatical was a little heartbreaking, because, like I told you, I love drawing. I love time-lapse editing. The main purpose of Minimal Effort Sketch is to showcase not only what I'm capable of as a sketch artist, but also, you know, how I can make this look flashy, make this look cool. I love time-lapse editing. Like, the whole idea behind Minimal Effort Sketch was just so I could work on my time-lapse editing. Like, I love time-lapse editing. I love slowing things down. I love speeding things up. And I just love having, you know, footage done in real time, which is kind of my thing. But it was, for me, it was kind of innovative. And, you know, first season was pretty good. Second season, I think it varied. And then the third was kind of, yeah, I need to start getting more ideas, better ideas too. And not just like, you know, trying to dig deeper in the creative hole, like my hole of interests. Like, when you dig a hole and you can't dig any deeper. That was my interest at the time, because nowadays you can ask my boss in Devil May Cry Sparta posting, like, anytime I need a new game to play, I always go to him. Like, he got me into Metal Gear Solid, he got me into Yakuza, or Ryuga Kotoku, whatever, whichever translation you want to use. And then eventually he got me into what I'm currently playing now, Kingdom Hearts. Like, ever since I started taking up those ideas, like, I have been hammering away at, like, what could I draw for season 4 of Minimal Effort Sketch? Or, like, hey, maybe I've got more idea for memes, or like for crossovers, or just, connecting with people that also play these games. So it's been great. It's been very helpful. And yeah, ever since I started like taking up recommendations for games, for TV shows, everything, like, it's helped me a lot. It's helped me bounce back. Like, I don't want to speak too soon on whether or not I will be doing season 4 of Minimal Effort Sketch, but I will let you know this. I have been jotting down ideas on what I can draw, and I may or may not have already started sketching. Oh man, I knew it was a sabbatical the moment that I decided that season 4 wasn't going to come last year, and I'm kind of glad it didn't, because not only was I fucking slammed with the Let's Rock Baby anniversary trilogy, like, I was pretty slammed, because that took a lot more effort than I thought it would. Like, I generally haven't really done very much like in-game commentary, because a lot of the times I would just do like post-filming commentary, which is what I'm doing right now. Just because I tried to do in-game commentary for Mercenaries, and it just kept breaking my concentration, or I just couldn't think of anything to say, so I'd be quiet most of the time. I don't like that. I don't like being quiet most of the time. So it does kind of hurt to not have Josh, like, bounce conversations off with. But, I didn't want to, like, ask him to put his busy schedule aside, if he has one. Josh, if you're watching this, I did want to do this with you, but you've been pretty busy, so there's no shame in that. But anyways, yeah, I was slammed fucking pack with the Devil May Cry Let's Play trilogy that I worked on all last year, or pretty much all last year. Like, between the ending of Let's Rock Baby and starting Let's Rock, I guess, starting filming for Let's Rock, I guess, there was barely any time that I took to start planning season 4. So I just went and told all of my peers, hey, season 4 is not happening this year. I just haven't had any ideas, haven't had much of a creative drive. And they were accepting of that. But the thing about the announcement flyer that I put up when I said that I was doing the next installment of Let's Rock Baby trilogy, I put filming twice, and I went back and I reiterated, yes, I put filming twice, because that's how you know I don't have a PR team. And that seemed to go better with that than the actual announcement of Minimal Effort Sketch season 4. I was a little sad, because Minimal Effort Sketch seemed to come off as a I guess it's like a yearly thing. Like, I started it in July 2019, but then I decided to do it a little sooner in May 2020. Same thing in 2021. Didn't do it at all in 2022. Just because, like, all of my focus was on the Devil May Cry Anniversary trilogy, which, I mean, it's debatable whether you think it was a good call or not. But, I was burnt out. I didn't have any ideas. I had nothing to go on when it came to drawing. So I said, let's not do it this year. And that broke my heart a little bit. I almost wanted to cry. But looking back, the little break that I had from drawing last year was nice. I don't like the idea of not being creative. I don't like the idea of not jumping into something that I want to do. But I just couldn't come up with anything. And the last thing I want to do is burn myself out. Which is why I'm very grateful for the gaps between each installment of Let's Rock Baby. Because you know, if I kept doing it repeatedly, I would have burned out. I probably wouldn't even be gaming right now like I currently am. Like I'm always gaming when I have time. Like if I'm not at work, if I'm not doing house chores or just running errands, I am always on the fucking game. I watch TV sometimes, but I'm not gonna count that. And then I ultimately decided that there wasn't gonna be an entry for the big sketch either, because I had just wrapped up. What was it? This Party's Getting Crazy, the third Let's Rock Baby installment, and that following month, November, I was fucking slammed with plans. Like, so you remember how in my end of the year vlog last year, I told you guys that I bought a house. I did. I moved in October, and then November I was just slam packed with plans. Like, Bad Omens. Bad Omens was on November 4th. The Plot in You was on November 16th. Idol and Raid City Drive was on November 18th. And then Trinity of Terror Leg 3 was on the 25th. So I had no time to plan anything for the big sketch. And I did want to put it off until December, because December is when I start filming, when I start planning my end of the year vlogs. As of the last couple years, my end of the year vlogs have only consisted of just albums of the year. I used to do top 5s, but then I started doing top 10s because there's way too many albums for a top 5, but there's not enough for like a top 15 or 20. So yeah, I pretty much said no drawing for 2022, and that was kind of sad. Like, I love drawing, even if I'm not the greatest at it. Like, even if all my sketches are references, which is fine, because none of the drawing that I do is original. Everything is reference. I think it's reference based, but I look at a design, I try to outline it as neatly as I can, not perfectly, because if I do that, if I try to outline it perfectly, I'm gonna fucking pull my hair out. But yeah, it broke my heart a little bit. I don't like the idea of not being creative. Even if some ideas of being creative is just, you know, sitting in front of a TV with a controller in my hand, doing some gaming. Like, I'm gonna be real with you guys. That's not as much effort as you know, drawing, filming, publishing it, etc., etc. Well, and that's a wrap for this entry of Hugeman Mini-Plays. Please do not forget to subscribe and ring the bell, because I got more on the way.